Good morning. EURUSD and the major dollar pairs, of course, also gold, are going to be discussed in today's video. As you can see, not wearing the glasses, by the way, anymore. The eyes are hopefully fully healed. So now that I'm wearing contact lenses again, everything's a little bit sharper. So I hope the trades and the analysis as well. Furthermore, let's just dive in and see where EURUSD is heading next. So euro dollar itself has pushed up higher since yesterday. As you guys know, I mentioned in yesterday's video that it was a little bit unclear. Personally, we had this demand zone and we also had this supply zone, which were kind of fighting with one another. As you can see, in the end, the demand zone won and it pushed the market up higher into the extreme area of supply. Now, obviously, guys, I do mention analysis in every day's video, and I'm not always going to be right, but I do know when to anticipate or when to take trades, because this supply zone for myself did not provide us with a valid entry. Because if we go into the 1 hour time frame, what you're going to be able to see is that the 1 hour never really gave us any bearish confirmation at all. So I see a lot of people burning their hands here on a potential short from this area of supply. Go into that supply zone, look at the 15-minute time frame, and what you're simply going to see, guys, is that there was no bearish confirmation at all. We needed to see a swipe of this high, then a push, then push down, and then bearish confirmation with the break of structure. Didn't happen, and what you see is that demand just remains in control. So you can cry about your losses, but you need to understand that you need to have a plan when attacking your USD and all these major dollar pairs, or whatever trade that you're taking. You need to understand when you're going to enter and when not. So now what I'm looking here at the 4 hour time frame, this is now our supply zone. These are now our descending highs, and we're now looking for a potential short with the 4 hours still being bearish. However, we need bearish confirmation, because if you go into the 1 hour time frame, a lot of traders yesterday were again FOMOing into shorts from that supply zone. They enter on this bearish candlestick and then they place their stop loss above the high of the bearish candle, and then they get stopped out, or they place their stop loss above this high, which is also perfectly fine. But then what they see happening is that the market simply reacts to this area of demand over here, right? So the market reacts to this area of demand, and you can see the market is still just simply bullish. Push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up, right? Here we just wick into demand and then we just push up again. So then they see this bearish candle, then again they get out. So then they see the market start pushing down again and they think, I missed the opportunity. So really just stick to the plan. At this point in time, this could just be liquidity grab to fuel the next move up. For now, 1 hour structure is bullish between this low and this high. Simply wait, in my opinion, for this demand zone to fill. We see the push down, we see the pull up, then we see another push down. This for me is currently the plan. We need this demand zone to fill because this demand zone is currently in control. Okay, that is it, very simply said, on EURUSD. I am not looking for longs despite the 4 hour fractal being bullish from the low of this bearish candle in towards the high of this candle over here. So we have now seen a beautiful retracement, by the way, into the 50% mark of the premium versus discount, exactly into there. Grab liquidity on the 1 hour, so it could now fuel the next move up. That's why I'm definitely waiting for more bearish confirmation before taking any shorts on EURUSD, because for me there's just yeah, again, no confirmation for sells. Okay, we could just push up higher. Yes, the daily fractal between this high and this low are still bearish, so it still makes sense for EURUSD to push down lower. But then again, I want to filter my potential setups only for high probability plays. So that's why I'm waiting now for the 1 hour and the 4 hour to show its hand. Also, what you need to take into consideration is the dollar index. So what has happened with the dollar index, guys? So yesterday we can see that the dollar index pushed down lower. So where did the dollar index push in towards, guys? It pushed in towards the new lower low. So what has happened here is that you see the push up, you see the push up, down, push up, pull back, break of structure over here. Now this is your supply zone that is in control because it broke structure, guys. Keep that in mind. Go into the daily time frame, and then as well you'll see a daily candle close below the daily fractal low. So a daily fractal break is often a sign that this is now supply in control and that this could push the market down lower, for example into this demand zone over here, this sell before the buy up. So keep that in mind, that this is now definitely a possibility for the downside from the dollar, which would mean EURUSD, GBPUSD, AUDUSD up. Okay, keep that in mind. Going into the daily time frame over here, and maybe looking at the weekly, it will become a little bit more clear. But here on the weekly, we can also see that we have a swing high. So what happened on the swing high? We grab liquidity, boom, reversal in towards the downside. After hitting that swing high, what do you see? You see a daily fractal structure break, and you see a 4 hour swing structure break. So these are now all indications to me that the dollar index is now potentially ready to head down lower. So keep that in mind when trading, because that could be a major confluence and addition to your win rate if you look at these confluences. Okay, Going into AUDUSD, what can we see on that side? So AUDUSD itself now on the daily, first of all. So on the daily time frame, we're still bearish. That's all I can really say, to be honest. Nothing much for the rest. It's just been consolidating a bit here for the past 4 days. Momentum is still definitely into the downside. Go into the 4-hour time frame. This is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Now I'm going to clean up my chart for you guys, and what I just want you to understand, and I'm going to do a nice and naked analysis for you, is that overall the 4-hour is still bearish, right? So this is swing high, this is swing low. So the 4-hour is very clearly bearish. Then what you do is you go into the individual candlesticks. So what do we see over here? Well, we see over here that this demand or supply chain, excuse me, was in control. This kept on pushing the market down lower, and then again we had this 4-hour supply zone over here. However, this 4-hour supply zone that has now been pierced through, so-called, hinting to me that this is now your 4-hour fractal low that is in control. So this 4-hour fractal low could prevent price from dropping any further, because now what you've seen is that we've broken this fractal high, and that this is now your structure in between this low and this high. So this is now your 4-hour fractal structure. You're now pretty much in the extreme of that fractal structure. But if you look at the 1-hour time frame, the market is very, very messy. Overall as well, I am still favoring further downside, purely because the overall swing structure is still bearish. What I'm just focusing on is here the break of structure. I use this as my swing high, this is my swing low. We grab liquidity above these equal highs. We have trendline liquidity here. So I'm now just focusing on looking for further downside. But now what I need is bearish confirmation. So what I'm now looking at is a supply chain to start forming. This is currently supply and control. Then we have this supply zone over here. So let's see if this can push the market down lower, or maybe if we come up a little bit higher in towards 1-hour refined supply. And then again, we just need to see bearish momentum kick in, and we need to see a supply chain start to form. Otherwise, I will just simply stay out. Let's look at GBPUSD, because GBPUSD has also pushed up pretty high. Here on the daily time frame, again, we can still see that the daily fractal is bearish. This is your swing high, this is your swing low. Go into the 4-hour time frame, it is pretty much the same. Also bearish, break of structure down, high, low, and now we are in the extreme of the 4-hour swing leg, right? We kind of have this extreme area of supply. So what I'm now looking at again is, okay, well, are we even ready to start selling off? Well, personally, in my opinion, we need to see some kind of supply chain start to form, because for now, this is looking bullish, right? There's no bearish confirmation at all in this to start looking for a sell. So we really need to see some supply chain form. We need to see supply zones form before we can get in on anything. So that's what I'm waiting for on GBPUSD. Going into NZDUSD, what do we see over here? Go into the daily again. So on the daily time frame, very similar to the other pairs. However, NZDUSD is one that I'm not going to be touching myself. And why is that? Well, because we saw a bullish fractal structure change. So this is the fractal low, this is the fractal high break. To me, demand is now on or in control here on the daily. We're also pretty much inside the daily demand zone, which has been a key level of support as well in the past. So for myself, I'm just staying out of this one for now. Also with the dollar index potentially flipping, this could just fuel the next leg up here on NZDUSD, potentially even into like this fresh area of supply and this monthly level that we have over there. So keep that in mind here on NZDUSD. For myself, it's just not interesting to get in on any shorts on this. Such as with the other pairs. For the rest, I mean, we have a demand chain as well on the 4-hour. This is demand, gets tapped into and pushed up higher, and now this is your demand zone. So maybe a little bit further downside this morning, use this low as liquidity, and then just fuel the next move up. That could happen on NU. Last of all, we have, of course, gold. What is happening to gold? So gold itself has been pretty much consolidating. Looking at the daily real quick, the daily is still, of course, bullish. One bearish candlestick doesn't make it completely bearish. So what I'm now focusing on myself is to look for potential further upside. But then again, we need the market to show its hand and to provide us with any potential longs. For now, this demand zone over here is in control. So this imbalance. So what I'm now looking at is, okay, this is currently your fractal low, this is currently your fractal high. We still have a fresh supply zone open, for example, over here. So I'm interested in getting involved with some potential longs. For now, what has happened is that we've pretty much broken this, but I need to see a more clean break. If we can just get a little bit more momentum, then another retracement, then I'll look to get in on a long on the next accumulation phase. So that's what I'm looking for, guys. I'm not interested in shorts for now. Of course, it can push down lower, and I'm only going to get in a long if I get provided with what I need to look for a long. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day and speak soon.